Right, good afternoon everybody. Thank you for coming to our White Coat and Celebration of Excellence ceremony. So in welcoming you to participate in this ceremony today, you are pledging yourself freely in front of your family, the AUC family of faculty and colleagues, the deans and the medical students on your pathway to becoming a physician in 4 years' time. The White Coat ceremony and the oath that you take today is a solemn commitment to the type of medical student and future doctor that you will be. The White Coat ceremony itself is a relatively recent introduction, started in the 1990s, to signify your personal transition into the medical school fraternity. The short white coat that you'll don today signifies that you're a novice, a learner, newly arrived and inexperienced. But when you take up residency, you can wear a mid-length white coat. During today's ceremony, you'll carry your white coat onto the stage to be placed on your shoulders with the help of Dean Scobie. For the audience, the journey of the students today on their white coat began several weeks ago with our ICM team when they met as a group to think about many of the important values that doctors must possess. There are so many role models, doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals who dedicate their life and service to the treatment of others. We've seen this so clearly during the pandemic, and you might have thought of other role models. And with our ICM tutors, you are asked to reflect on which values you see as vital and fundamental to effective patient care. Today, you commit to define patients not by their illness, but as people. Make these promises solemnly and freely. Your success at AUC requires teamwork, determination, and commitment. Speak to the other semesters. It is no easy journey. So to this end, I encourage you to be consistent in your efforts in all courses and study hard to be successful. But at the same time, encourage other students, support yourself, and make time for friends, partners, family, and wellness. The medical profession promotes justice in the healthcare system, and it can only do this if you play your part in safeguarding the integrity of the profession. At medical school, this starts with academic integrity, honest endeavours to study and be assessed fairly. Our rules and principles are clear. We ask you to model exceptional conduct, character and service to others on campus and beyond, and to uphold the virtues of honesty, fairness and self-discipline. So reflect on how to improve when you find gaps in your performance or when receiving feedback from faculty. Be honest when you evaluate yourself or others. And be compassionate in your feedback to other students and display satisfaction in your efforts. Be respectful to those who will train you, those employed to support you, and all those working in the medical school. So I ask our first semester students, can you do this? Okay, so if you can, now is the time to come on stage and don your white coat for the first part of, to join as the first part of the AUC community, and you're going to recite the physician's oath. So we welcome Dean Scobie to lead us in the donning of the white coat and the reciting of the physician's oath. And at this point of when we take the oath, I ask all the medical students here and any medically qualified faculty to stand and join in. For all our audience, you can applaud the students as they come up. So let's welcome our students. So Fahana Afreen. Mohammed Akram. stay on the stage as well. Don't forget to stay on the stage.
Don't disappear.
Mohammed Akram. Well done, it's good. Mohammed Al-Tatari. Arib Arastu. Dipesh Bhatt.
There's always one.
Thank you.
That makes it easy. Daniel Nuibo.
Sharp suit, Daniel, sharp suit.
Uzumaka Okoro. Mohammed Qureshi. Malaka Sujish. Yaira Zipke.
So we'll just run through the physician's oath. Are you ready? I swear to fulfill, to the best of my ability and judgment, this covenant. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk. And gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow. I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures that are required, avoiding those twin traps of overtreatment and therapeutic nihilism.
I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures that are required, avoiding those twin traps of overtreatment and therapeutic nihilism.
I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science.
I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science.
And that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug.
And understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug.
I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery.
I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery.
I will respect the privacy of my patients,
I will respect the privacy of my patients.
for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know.
Their problems are not disclosed to me that
Most especially must I tread with care in matters of life and death.
Most especially must I tread with care in matters of life and death.
If it is given me to save a life, all thanks.
If it is given me to save a life, all thanks.
But it may also be within my power to take a life.
But it may also be within my power to take a life.
This awesome responsibility must be faced with great humbleness and awareness of my own frailty.
This awesome responsibility must be faced with great humbleness and awareness of my own frailty.
Above all, I must not play at God.
Above all, I must not play at God.
I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability.
I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart or cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability.
My responsibility includes these related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick.
My responsibility includes these related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick.
I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure.
I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure.
I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the infirm.
I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the infirm.
If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live and remembered with affection thereafter.
If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live and remembered with affection thereafter.
May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help.
May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help.
Okay, thank you very much. So the next time you take that oath will be at your graduation. So thank you very much. You can leave the stage. So we move on to our celebration of academic excellence, or strenuously striving, however you want to call it. And we value many aspects of your efforts, and we watch you turn effort into success. We certainly appreciate your engagement in class, your willingness to study long hours and pass exams. So Dean Ash will now say a few words of exceptional wisdom.
Yes, I'm known for saying few words of exceptional wisdom. In that way round, actually. Thank you, Dean Ginty. What a build-up. I always keep my speeches short, including last year, but I actually forgot I was giving a speech, so this is a rather rushed effort. And there's a lot of overlap in what I'm going to say about that overlap with the physician's oath. And you'll be glad to know there are no jokes, so you can all rest easy, because I'm known for the poor quality of my jokes. But I was thinking, while I was driving along the M6 at an illegal speed, that what can I say to you guys? You're going to be the guys, the future of medicine, the people looking after me when I'm old and infirm. Hang on, I am old and infirm. Okay, older and infirmer, etc. So everything's in your hands. You'll be responsible for the quality of medical care. I'm making you all nervous now, aren't I? But I just wanted to say something, because my wife was recently in hospital. She's better now, thankfully. And it's an experience you don't relish, obviously. But I'd like to ask you to, my speech is called Look After. Who are you going to look after? And of course you're going to look after your patients first, obvious one. But as it says in the physician's oath, you've got to look after them, not their blood test results. You're not treating a set of raised ALTs and bilirubins. Don't treat their imaging reports. Don't treat them like they're a diagnosis or a case of something. They're human and they have feelings, as the physician's oath says. They've got fears and anxieties and stresses and difficulties, and they'll be scared witless when they're in hospital, even though you're caring for them. So get to know them a little bit. What do they want? What are they looking for? What would really help them? And it may just be someone to listen to what they've got to say. But if you do, and I did do this, a survey of patients after they've left hospital, treat them, they got better, gone home, hopefully. What was their opinion of their time in hospital and how could it be improved? And there are some practical things like sleeplessness. Okay, there are a few crazy patients that you can't sedate that make a noise at night, but irrespective of that, there are doctors who come on the ward and talk at 110 best decibels in the middle of the night, and you could perhaps avoid doing that. And there are doctors and nurses who wear loud shoes. So in the hospital I used to work in, we tried to make sure that all the night staff were wearing soft shoes, and it made a big difference. Easy, things like just consider the patients. You're not going to want to wake them up at night, so that they at least get some sort of sleep while they're there. And bad food. The food in hospitals, certainly in the NHS, is pretty bad. So that were two practical complaints. But by far and away the most common complaint was about communication. Nobody told me what was going on. Nobody seemed to know. I was completely in the dark. I hadn't got a clue what was happening, where I was going, compounded by the current or recent tendency in hospital, both in the US and the UK. You go into the emergency department, and then you go into a waiting area, just to be assessed, an assessment area. There's a different set of staff there. And then you go to an acute medical unit, different set of staff there who don't know you, they haven't read your notes, they haven't chatted to you about anything, so they're starting again. And then you move from that assessment area up to a specialist ward with a new set of doctors who don't know what's happening to you or anything, because the handovers aren't great. And then you get sent home with an inadequate summary that says absolutely nothing of any use on it. So I'm not having a moan, but this is feedback from patients, and you should listen to that sort of thing and try and improve those basic things. So, okay, you can make a diagnosis and you know what drug to give the patient, but if you don't fulfill all the other functions, you're going to have a very unhappy patient. So look after your patient, look after the patient as a person, talk to them and say, anything else you want to talk about? Do you know what's going on? And if the answer is no, just spend an extra couple of minutes saying, right, we think you've got this and we want you to have a scan. It doesn't hurt, don't worry, you're not going to die. And you should be going home in a few days' time if everything goes to plan. That would be really nice, I think. So look after your patients. Patients have relatives. And it's been very difficult in the COVID era because the relatives haven't been allowed to visit. So they're stressed out because they don't know what's going on. And even in the days when they were allowed to visit, they don't know what's going on. And they would love 5 minutes with the doctor looking after them. They're important too. They need time to be heard and listened to. And I must admit, if you ask me what's one of the hardest things that I ever did in my 40-something years working for the NHS, whatever it is, was talking to relatives, and particularly about discussing do not attempt resuscitation orders. Really difficult, and I'm sure I'm not very good at that even after 40 years of experience. So talking to relatives is really important and very neglected, I think. So look after the patient, look after the relatives and the relatives' loved one, the patient's loved ones, and look after your loved ones. Because if you're anything like me, and I wrote down here a description of me: do long hours, tiredness, no time for your family, grumpy, irritable, and distracted. And you may be the least easy person to live with. Yeah, that's a description of me, all right there. So look after your loved ones. So when you get home, make the time valuable. Try and break off from your job and give them some quality time. So that's look after number 3. Look after number 4 is look after your colleagues. And I don't just mean doctors, I mean the nurses and the other healthcare professionals, because you're part of a team. And you never know, one day they will be looking after you when you need some help. And of course, being a part of a team, you've got to help one another, otherwise your team doesn't work. And if your team doesn't work, your care is going to fail. So that's look after number 4. So who have I left out to look after? Yeah, yourselves, yeah. Look after yourself. And that's not being selfish. I don't mean you've got to have time to go to the pub and have 6 pints of beer. But in this COVID era, especially, burnout and from stress is really common. And I don't want to put you off being a doctor, because it's a wonderful profession. It's very rewarding. And you're doing the right thing. But burnout's very common because of long hours, pressure, stress, and huge responsibilities. Huge responsibility. So don't be ashamed of needing some help or support from others, because you will benefit from it. You'll be a better doctor and a better person. And really what I want you to do when you think about if you're going to look after yourself is you can make yourself a better person. You'll have fun. You'll be a really nice person to work with, and your patients will love you for that. Thank you very much.
So thanks, Dinesh. For our student address, we welcome Maritza Lozano, a clinical sciences student with AUC, studying at Stepping Hill Hospital, Stockport in Manchester.
Hello, my fellow colleagues, and congratulations on joining the AUC family. I would also like to welcome the family, friends, and various support systems that are taking in this day with you today. The day I received my white coat, I was mixed with the emotions of excitement and nervousness. I could not believe I was finally on my way to becoming a doctor, just as you are now. Can we just take a moment and think about that? I'm on my way to becoming Dr. Insert last name here. Sounds pretty good, right? There are various reasons as to why we choose this journey, whether it be something you've always wanted or something you recently discovered. Regardless of what led you to this point, it's important that you remember your why throughout this journey. As you can tell from my accent, I'm from the States. I completed my basic sciences on St. Martin, and now I'm doing my clinical rotations in the UK. I always envisioned becoming a doctor, but I was never too sure on how I was going to get here. I'm the first in my family to go to college and now medical school. So this whole journey has required a good amount of research and a good amount of questioning what I'm doing along the way. I would say my why is multifactorial. It's about inspiring others, helping as many people as I can, taking care of my family, and as I continue through my training, it continues to grow. The reason your why is so important is because I wouldn't say medical school is easy, but I would say it's not impossible. There will be some classes you'll fall in love with, and some not so much, but trust me, they're really, really important. There will be classes where you pass with barely looking at the material. I don't recommend this, but there are also going to be classes that test your limits. Do what you can, but if it's a bit difficult, reach out for help. Go to tutoring, reach out to a professor, reach out to one of your colleagues. This is something that I've always loved about AUC, is that we're always there for each other. There have been students that I've never met before, but if I reach out to them, I know that they're willing to help. As soon as I started my basic sciences, there were more resources than I could handle. Everyone wants you to succeed, and if you're struggling with something, they're quick to share some tips that worked for them. This is the same with clinical rotations as well. The students that were there before I started at Stepping Hill wanted to make sure that I was comfortable in the hospitals, but even around town as well. I know a lot of us may think they're my competition. Why am I going to help them? Or why am I going to help them, and why are they helping me? But if that's your perspective, then let me ask you this. Do you really want to be competing against people that aren't going to challenge you and your abilities? Think of it like this. When we're all practicing physicians, we're going to want to do what's best for our patient. And many times that means getting a second opinion. If I'm working as an emergency medicine doctor, I'm going to make sure that I take care of my patient, but if they're having a stroke, I'm going to need to consult a neurologist. Heart attack, I'm going to need to get in contact with a cardiologist, and so on. In order to be better, we must work together and bring each other up. With that being said, medical school can be really stressful, and like I said earlier, it's going to be testing you at times. You may hit a wall where you're no longer retaining any information. Take a break. Whether that be going to get some coffee, going to the gym, watching some Netflix. Take care of yourself because there's no point in pouring from an empty cup. You know the saying, do for others as you would do for yourself? The reverse is just as important. The rest of your career will be about taking care of our patients, in whatever way that may be. So don't burn out before you can get to that point. Which brings me to the reason we're all here, the white coat. A white coat can have so many meanings. In my opinion, it's about healing, helping, and doing no harm. When you put on your white coat for the first time, you're one step closer to that. Be proud of this achievement, but do not get prideful. I say this as in may you use it as a tool for learning and for teaching. To be open to different perspectives and backgrounds, just plain and simple, do better. Whatever it was that brought you to AUC, I hope that it carries you throughout your hopeful future as a physician. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marissa. So now we're going to present some awards. So Dean Ash will be helping us for presenting the Dean's List Awards, and those for students who've made the Dean's List with an average GPA of 87%. We're going to give our ACE Awards for clinical excellence and additional awards for students who've shown determination and dedication to our AUC community. It's fitting that we recognise the role of peer tutoring, a voluntary action to help other students be even more successful. And tutoring and coaching play an important part in learning. So after we've done the Dean's Awards, Dr. Abbas Al-Hassan will acknowledge the peer tutors with certificates. So for the Dean's List, Haditya Behel. So you get a badge that says Dean's List to wear on your white coats and a little trophy as well. Vanessa Ezekiel. Abhishek Govinda Rajan. Shelby Hamilton. Greer McKinney. Erica Shaw.
Okay, I got a long way to go. It's tough.
you talking about life in general or just...
Oh, way further than you think.
Mustafa Tahir. Christine Wang. Fenju Shun. For semester 2, Jennifer MacDonald.
I didn't wear my summer shoes, I'm sorry.
Anjola Oyebola. Ramsha Rihan. Jade Robinson. And Lana Taraf Kuju. For semester 3, Emmanuel Atzvizor. Eberude. And Ziwen Yang. Moving on to semester 4, Haris Ahmad. Husnain Ali. Alana Alvarez Amado. And Muzi Meng. That's 21 students on our Dean's list, our highest. That's good. So now we're inviting Dr. Abbas Al-Hassan to come and do the tutor recognition for course tutoring and peer-to-peer tutoring.
Alana. For ICO, yeah? ICM, Jolene. Amal Razak. I'm gonna remove that. Okay. Good. We'll move on to anatomy. Jade Robinson. Lana Parak. MCB1, Jennifer. Semester 2, Immunology and Infections, Emmanuel Anan. Immunology and Infections, Sabira Umar. Office 1, Yang. to Usnain Ali. This is one of the few who was tutored all the way through. Another wonderful tutor throughout from semester 1, Harris. Head of Student Tutoring, Senior Tutor, Alana.
Thank you very much. So we're going to move on to the semester awards chosen by the faculty for each student. And Dean Scobie is going to give those awards. So semester 1 awards for Introduction to Clinical Medicine, Emma Reid. In Anatomy and Molecular Cell Biology, Erica Shaw. So that's 2 awards.
Christmas all over again.
In Histology, Embryology, Vanessa Ezuki. Our Semester 2 awards for Introduction to Clinical Medicine 2, Lavi Raghav. Well done. Molecular Cell Biology 2, Jade Robinson. Physiology 1, Lana Taraf Kaju. And Immunology, Angela Hoyabola. For semester 3, Introduction to Clinical Medicine 3, Milton Mehesu. In Physiology 2, Mustafa Ali. For Pathology 1, Amal Hussain. And Medical Microbiology, Ebere Ude. For semester 4, Introduction to Clinical Medicine 4, Nazira Akobe. I think you came late, that was all. That's it. But don't ever be late to clinic, that's what I can say. For 2 courses, for Neuroscience and for Pathology 2, Haris Ahmed. For Medical Pharmacology, Anjola Ugusina. Student not here, but for semester 5, the award for behavioural science was Jay Lee. So we'll go to honour and service, and then we'll invite the SGA to have a few words with us. So for honour and service awards, the 3 students who got honour and service are Alana Alvarez Amado, Muzi Meng, and Husnain Ali. So honour and service is awarded to students in their 5th semester after a series of volunteering and support activities, whether that be through the SGA or tutoring or other additional voluntary activities. So as you can see, there's a lot of glasswork associated with achieving in the medical sciences. We're now moving on to the faculty awards, and we're going to be asking Maritza to give out the awards to the faculty. But starting off, Aman is going to say a few words for the SGA.
Hello, everyone. It's my honor to have this opportunity to acknowledge and honor faculty members who have stepped up and provided students a positive and engaging learning environment. Professors were able to quickly transition from online to in-person and make sure no students get left behind. They were flexible with allowing students to come to terms with all the new changes and continue to provide support to the best of their abilities. Your efforts and success is highly appreciated. I would like to thank faculty that have went above and beyond. We've asked the student body to send us their feedback, and I can recognize their efforts and hard work by presenting the Faculty of the Semester Award for the UK track. For Semester 1, this professor is known to be extremely organized, adaptive to different study techniques, and in making the learning environment very engaging by preparing the content in a fun way for students. The faculty member that is being recognized today for Semester 1 is Dr. Gargi Soni. For Semester 2, this professor is known for effectively guiding students through difficult content and showing flexibility with teaching styles to maximize student learning. This professor was there to help and showed care for not just academic success, but for the personal well-being of the students as well. The professor that is being recognized today is Dr. Vishali Khatri. For Semester 3, this professor is known for going beyond expectations in order to maximize student benefit and engagement. This professor is constantly catering the teaching approaches to better suit the student needs and making sure no one gets left behind. Therefore, the faculty member that is being recognized for Semester 3 is Dr. Blessing Ananya. Lastly, for Semester 4, this professor is known for consistently putting maximal effort into delivering lecture material and always being available for help. This professor showed a willingness to change their own teaching needs and styles to better match those of the needs of the students, and also gave great advice during ICM sessions. The professor that's being recognized today is Dr. Mazen El-Salini.
So limited by the pandemic, we weren't always able to give the staff the award. So for the Semester 1 award from 2020, Dr. Abbas Al-Hassan.
Don't upset my head.
So I thank Amanda Dillon for giving those awards. Our faculty are really committed to your success, and so we thank all of the SGA and all the students who've selected our faculty. So I want to finally acknowledge one important member of our faculty. Someone who's been successful in getting this programme to where it is. Navigating a pandemic, selecting our brilliant faculty, and helping many of you learn physiology. Dr. Sue Jameson is sadly leaving UCLan and AUC. But she is continuing to educate lucky students and leading staff in her new role. Personally, she's been an excellent colleague, friend, and we're truly sad to lose her. Modest in her own achievements, she's made contributions to AUC in UCLan in many ways over 6 years. And so your AUC family want to say thank you. So our Outstanding Colleague Award goes to Dr. Sue Jameson. So as we close our ceremony, I want to thank everyone here present who's participated to welcome our first semester students to the medical school and acknowledge just some of the achievements of all of our students. This celebration has highlighted the contribution of faculty in your success. It's highlighted those students who've shown promising attributes such as engagement, empathy, persistence, resilience, honour and service, and clinical excellence. It's simple to think of hubris, that self-confidence, to pride ourselves that our success is entirely our own efforts. But really, it depends on the environment we find ourselves in, our teachers and our fellow students. It depends as much on the support we get from others, either locally on campus or remotely from family and friends. So don't forget, at some point today, send a text to thank your family for enabling you to be at medical school. Their encouragement, financial and emotional support is the foundation of your success. Next week, we have Thrive Week to emphasise, to be successful, in taking care of others to high standards, we must look after ourselves. So finally, I want to thank the SGA, who support each of you and help create our learning community, our peer tutors, our dedicated faculty, some of you you've honoured today or in previous events. To Catherine Rankin, who's hiding around the back, so we'll bring Catherine forward. So to both Catherine Rankin and Sue Jameson for their leadership and management. And thank our clinical deans, Dean Ash, Dean Scobie, and Maritza Lozano, our clinical sciences student, for their participation in making this event full of inspiration. Thank you much. So I think we've got some photos of our first semester student to take by the banner, and they'll become your photos for AUC. If anybody else would like an additional photo, hang on. We're going to move to Scholars, where there's some food, and so you're all welcome to go to Scholars next. So thank you very much.
stand straight in. Always left foot forward, right foot behind like that. And then just sort of turn your head. That's it. Just look like no? The temptation is what we want now.
Oh my god.
The temptation. Honestly. And what you do is left foot forward, right foot behind. Oh, it's one-on-one? Yeah. Yeah. What it does is it twists your head. And then you just face that way and twist slightly. And then that's beautiful. Just like
Oh, come on.
it's not a photo shoot.
You should have.
Oh no, no. That ruins the surprise. Next.
Good job.
Any time today, folks.
No, yeah. So
No, it's alright, you know.
I mean,
Yep, cool. What I always think, left foot forward, right foot sort of slightly behind. Sort of twist it. That's it. It's not a punishable exercise.
I have to do that.
You can put your hand in your pocket, like so, but don't bring it down. Brilliant. Let me see this. Just there.
That's cute.
Just there. Anybody? So left foot, like so, right foot, back like so, and just stand. Like to smile.
Okay, here we go.
Just there, that's
Why not? It's just here.
Thank you.
Wait, what? I wasn't ready. Very close to the edge.
And just yeah, just keep it doing your hands. Nice smile. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3.
You have to direct me.
See, friends and colleagues, eh? As long as I don't fall off the steps, I'm great.
Are we in the way? What's up? Yeah.
No, So left foot like so, right foot. Yeah. Yes. Actually, that's quite nice. Stop. Yes. So, left foot forward, right foot forward.
Hello, thank you, sir.
This is that thing.
Exactly. That's what we're doing this weekend. Exactly. I'm excited.
Because you said you get to see your photos, but these are my photos. If it was a selfie, it's different.
So, what do we do?
Hey, no, not at all. Right, so generally, I say left foot forward, right foot sort of behind, and just shoulders back, relax, chin up, nice confident smile, yeah?
No, I got that a lot of times.
Next. So you're thinking about it too much?
I'm pretty sure you were walking like in 1 week.
Just a really good way.
So, right. So left foot forward, right foot back here, and again, so the weight goes in the back foot, and just again, hands together, and not hands on the chest. Well, just, and again, nice, confident smile, chin up. I'm glad that you're here. How are you? Just there, that's take a look. Look, no, she's been done. She's just looked, she's football. Ready?
A celebrity, you know. Of course. No, great.
Great, so left foot forward, right foot, so it's almost like it's rotates a little bit. Just slightly, bring your hands together.
Oh, we see one.
I used to do the last year. Oh, you too. Alright.
I need, you've got faculty rights, Lawrence. What about the other two?
And your attitude. You're so dedicated to this. Thank you so much. He's like, I hate my life. Thank you. I don't smile anymore.
I need to say one of them. Right, you will.
I know my idea was to do that for leaving him. He's gone, and I said, do it. That was I said it's amazing. I knew you would do it. I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my God. Sorry. Yeah, I was just doing that. My intentions were really good. Rope man over there. Right, so I can be behind there. I can do that.
Right, come on. No. Right, so,
yes, I would like you to.
Where are you with the coffee?
that's the way. I don't make the room. I just pour.
Oh, Phyllis, do you want
So, let's try just basically left foot forward, right foot back. And I'll try hands in pockets.
Can I stand here?
Try hands sort of together like so. Excuse me. Come on, you're in my space now.
We're not leaving this space.
So,
It's okay. I can't wait to see you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, stand. Wait, Yara was taking on. Push the water bottle. I've never taken you. Yeah, she has to take a picture with you. And she. Super. You want to see it? You want to see it? Just in case you want to see it. Leg forward. You have to use it. No, I just
right, so I want you to stand here, and it's going to be left foot forward like so, right foot behind like so. Yeah. And so you have to sort of go in that direction.
Yeah, we'll take it. You don't mind.
I'm not taking picture.
Yeah, because I'm going to be here.
It's because his ankle.
Yeah, put them in like so, but don't go all the way down, just hold that sort of so it's like so. Lovely. Just there. And chin up, have a smile. Nice smile, please. Go like this way.
They are more than.
Come on now. Where are all these students coming from?
Like from the camera to like me.
Oh, yeah, all along. Oh my god. Move your.
I'm gonna miss you guys. Yes. And you can go hands Yes, that's fine.
Okay, makes sense.
I used to. Nice smile. 1, 2, 3.
Freelance. Wait, no, maybe wait.
I remember when she was. When she was the first time. Oh, I almost cried. I'm like, I'm not gonna go. Let's go. I'm still taking. It's my story.
Yeah, do it to you now.
Yeah, like why is it all tilted? I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, this is really nice. Now, you want to take yours?
Why not? I don't take pictures. Why is that one?
Oh, great. Sorry.